Now let us take few more questions in data structure and algorithms. How does an array differ from an ordinary variable? If you write a variable, say a or b, what does it mean when you write int a, say some maximum size or say 10? So what is the difference between these two? The answer is array is made up of similar data structure that exists in any language. Array is that is a set, contiguous set of similar data types. In array, you cannot have data types or variables. It's not variable actually. The data types or the values which are placed in an array, they ought to be of similar data type. Arrays is the collection of similar element, similar data type. So these similar elements could be say all integer or all float or all character. Array of character is known as nothing but the string. So all elements of the given array must be of same type. Arrays is a finite ordered set of homogeneous elements. The number of element in the array is always pre-specified, and the array is defined like this: int 810 as I defined here. And an ordinary variable is a simple data type that can store a single element only. An ordinary variable int a, that means a is a variable. Why it is called variable? Because a can have value 10 sometime, a can have value 20 sometime. So a varies depending upon the situation. While in array what happens, if you have written int a 10, so 10 place will be contiguous place in the memory will be allocated for the values which are of integer type. So say integer take 2 bytes. So how many or how much memory will be allocated to this? This will be 2 into 10. That is 20 bytes of memory will be allocated. In this only 2 bytes of memory will be allocated. What values are automatically assigned to those array elements which are not explicitly initialized? Now you have defined int a10. The question is, what values are assigned to these array elements which are not explicitly initialized? The answer is garbage value. They are automatically assigned to those array elements that are not explicitly initialized. This garbage value means the value which is not of much importance to us or to the program. Garbage does not mean any garbage. Those are also valid values, but they are not of any importance to us. So if a garbage class is auto, then the array is expressed or assumed to contain the garbage values. If storage class was declared static or external, then the all array element would have a default initial value as 0. Please understand. You have 4 different storage classes. So you have auto, external, static, and then you also have one more register. So if you assign it to be auto, see in this case auto is there. You don't need to explicitly write it. Auto int a10. You don't have to write auto because all these are already auto. So garbage value will be assigned. But if the storage class, in case you make it like this, say static, then int a10. Now these 10 integer spaces which are assigned will all be initialized to 0. Okay. Next question is stack is to be implemented using an array. Stack is implemented using an array. Easily it can be implemented. The association or associated declarations are int stack is 100 and int top equal to 0. So give the statement to perform the push operation. So you have an array called stack. This stack is the name of the array. The top is this, that is the first value. 0 means first value. So top is 0 right now, and now it is pointing to the stack here, because as the value is going to increase, this will be incremented. Top plus plus will be done. So now we have to write the statement for push operation. So it's quite simple. What you are going to do, you have to take these two. So we know that when the stack is empty, that means the first subscript of array is 0. So the empty stack will take the value -1. That means there is no value. So -1, if you add 1 to this, that will come to 0. So it will point to the first value. So we'll start with empty. We'll say empty stack when the value is -1. So what we are going to do is, first we have to write these two like this. Then we'll take some item, say some variable. If we say if top is equal to 99, if all the values we don't know whether this stack is full or not. So we need to check whether the stack is full or not, and we know that the highest subscript of this or highest index value of this stack, which is implemented in an array, is nothing but A99. Oh, sorry, stack 99. Right. So what we are going to see, that if top is pointing to the values, top is pointing to always the present value of the stack value. So top will be here. If top is 99, that is top is pointing to the highest value before. After that, there is no space which is remaining. So if this is like this, 99, top is having value 99, then we say that we are not able to push anything because the limit is being used. So we say stack overflow. Otherwise, we can easily push any value on the array which is pointed by the top. So what we are going to do, first we have to increment the top value, because top is always pointing to the present value. So say if you have to push the value here, you have to increase the top to top plus plus, that is top is equal to top plus 1, and at that position of top, that is at that position which top is pointing at the stack value, you transfer this item. This is how the push is going to be. Next is assume that a queue is available for pushing and popping elements. Assume that a queue is available for pushing and popping elements. Given input sequence A, B, C, C be the first element, give the you are given the C, B, and A. These are the input sequence. So give the output sequence of the element if the rightmost element gives above is the first to be popped from the queue. So in this queue what happens? Queue, the entries are only from one side and the exits are only from one side. This is the first in, first out data structure. Okay. So in queue, it is being said that A, B, C, where C is the first has come, we have to talk about the popped activity. So what will happen? We know that C has come first, then B, then A, C being the first. So when we pop it, we know that we are not able to pop it from here. We are able to pop it from here. So it will be C, B, and then A. A two-dimensional array table, it is a two-dimensional array which is a table, is stored in a row major order with base address 351. Row major order with base address 351. What is the address of table 34? That is, 6 means 6 rows. 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are the numbers. We have to find the 3, 4. That is 3, 0, 1. Let us take in intuitive way 1, 2, 3, and then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This value. But we'll see, because this is stored in a row major order. So this is how we do it. The base address is 351, that is this address. First value is 351 address. And we know that the values here, we assume it to be of integer type because it is not given. The table is of what type we are not aware, but still we will assume this to be an integer type. So the formula for row major form to calculate address of any location Aij, say 3, 4, is given by base A. We always add BA with the W. What is the W? The number of bytes per location. That is 2 or 4 bytes. What we are going 2 bytes for integer will take. Then N is the number of columns in the array. How many columns are there? 6 or 8 columns. 8 columns are there. Then I minus LBR. I is what and J is what? I is 3 here. J is 4 here. What is LBR and LBC? These values LBC, these are the lower bound of column, lower bound of row. So we know that this lower bound is 0, 0 only. We start with 0, 0. So we'll take these LBR and this is 0, 0. So IJ is 3, 4. LBC, LBR and LBC are 3, 4. N is your 2. N is your 8, sorry. W is 2 byte. Base is 351. Let us add them like this. So we'll get the value as 407. Okay. Which sorting algorithm is best if the list is already sorted? Now the list is already sorted. What is the best sorting algorithm you are going to adopt and why? The answer is insertion sort, because as there will be no movement of data if the list is already sorted, and complexity will be of order n. Otherwise, insertion sort we know that complexity is of the order of n square. But if the list is sorted, the complexity will go down to order of n. Now, what is the complexity, time complexity of merge sort and heap sort? Merge sort and heap sort. The time complexity of merge sort is order of n log n. This is the best we have, n log n. Log is of to base 2. Heap sort again order of n log n. This is again base 2. So in the worst case or average case or best case, merge sort and heap sort, they give the see, they are giving the same order of n log n efficiency or time complexity. But heap sort has to do something else. We'll see it when the heap sort question will come. We have it. Next is what is the maximum possible number of nodes in a binary tree at level 6? 0 to 6, not 6 levels are there. Well 6 levels are not there. We have been asked that at level 6 what are the maximum possible number of nodes in a binary tree. So 2 to the power 0, 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 5. So what are the maximum possible? Because see, we start with 2 to the power 0, that is 1 node. Then here how many nodes we have? We have 4. 4. Okay, these are the 4. So 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2. And we could, at 6 level what it will be? 2 to the power 6. That is 2 to the power level plus 1. So the level is, level 2 to the power level. 2 to the power level. That will be 2 to the power 6. So 2 to the power 6 will be 64. Okay, level 6. You can easily find it out, At level 0 you have 1. Then level 2 you have 4. Now you have, how many you have? 8. So 2, 1, then 4, 8, likewise. Okay, so which at 6 level it will be 2 to the power 6, 64. Now the question is, a queue is a what? You have just seen it is a FIFO or what? The answer is FIFO, first in first out. Last in first out is the stack. Queue is neither a linear tree nor a ordered array. Which data structure is needed to convert infix notation to postfix notation? Which data structure is needed to convert the infix notation to postfix notation? This is a very obvious question. What we are going to use? Is it tree or stack, or is it a stack? The answer is stack. Stack is used to convert infix notation to postfix notation. Next question is, which of the following operation is performed more efficiently by doubly linked list than by singly linked list? Which of the following operation is performed more efficiently by doubly linked list? Doubly linked list, in the doubly linked list, we have nodes with data item left and right address. So which is the best one? The answer is A, because deleting a node whose location is given. If the location is given for a node, we are aware that the location is this, so we can easily delete it. For singly linked list, we have to do the same sequence, because we are not, if we even delete it, we want to delete it, so the deletion problem will be, if we delete, then the link will be gone. But here it is not the problem. Link is always there, because the front link, even if it goes down, the black link is there. That is the beauty of doubly linked list. The extra key inserted at the end of the array is called a dash. What is this? End key, start key, or sentinel? The answer is sentinel. The extra key which is inserted at the end of array is known as sentinel, like /0 for character array or string. The prefix form of a minus b divided by c cross d exponential of e is, see, you will do it by yourself, I am sure. I'll leave it for you, but I'll give you the answer. The answer is C, this one. In this, what happens? We have to see few things. That for multiplication division, we have to go from left to right. For addition and subtraction, we have to go from left to right if precedence is there, right? First of all, we have to go for the brackets. Then we go for the exponentiation. And in exponentiation, we don't go left to right, we go right to left if various exponentiation are there. Next is, consider that n elements are to be sorted. What is the worst case time complexity of bubble sort? Is it order of n square or any other? The answer is order of n square. In general term, just a lighter note, bubble sort is expected to be the worst of all the sorts. The characteristic of the data that binary search uses but the linear search ignores. The characteristic of data, what binary search uses, it is the order or something. Linear search does not use it. The answer would be order of the element of the list. Because in binary search, what happens in binary search? The order is the most important. While linear search, it will not do searching is not possibility in of any order, because linear search after all it has to search sequentially from one to where it is found. In a breadth first search, there are two types of search in the graph: breadth first search and depth first search. So in BFS of graph, which of the following data structure is used? Graph. The answer would be B, Q. In breadth first search, we use Q. Next is the largest element of an array index is called its, is it upper bound or range or low? The answer is upper bound. The answer is upper bound, not the range. What is the result of the following operation? Top. Push SX. Result of the following operation? It is asking for the top. So push will be in stack, X will be pushed, and top X will be, is it X or something else? The answer is A. It is going to show you X. How many nodes in a tree has no ancestors? A node with no ancestor. Is it a root node? The answer is B. Only root node has no ancestors. Others do have. Next question is, in order to get the contents of a binary search tree in ascending order, one has to traverse in which order? You want to find, because BST, the tree is like this. The element follows certain rule. All the elements which are below or less than this element are here. All the elements which are greater than this value are here. So in which order you need to traverse to find the ascending order? The answer is B, in order. You go for in order, then you will get the for example, just take that what you do in order. Okay, in order what you do, you first go to the left, then right, and then the red root, and then right. So I will like to change this answer right now. So this is because it is always a belief that in binary search tree, if you have elements like these are the highest element. So if you want to have it in ascending order, the best is to choose the first one, that is right, then root, and then the left one. But this is not the case. If you follow properly the recursive definition of a tree traversal, in order will give you the ascending order values. Next is which of the following sorting algorithm is stable? Which is stable? The answer is D, which is the heap sort. Heap sort is the stable sorting algorithm. Means every time it will give the same result. It is stable. The prefix form of infix expression. Now I hope that you are going to do it. It's quite simple. The answer I'll give it for you. This is C. Next is which data structure is used for implementing recursion? Recursion. Is it stack or any other? The answer is stack. Recursion for stack only. Because in stack, it follows that the last in first out sequence. In recursion also, when recursion is called, a function call itself. So it is calling itself and it is keeping the values, and it is taking the last value it has placed first. In a binary search, average number of comparison required for searching an element in a list, if n numbers is, now in a binary search, average number of comparison required for searching an element. The answer is log n. In binary search, only log n will be taken. Why? You have n element first, you divide them to n by 2, then you divide into n by 4. Okay, so till the time you divide, it will be n to the power 2k, and this n by 2k, at what point you will stop? When it will become 1. So n equal to 2 to the power k, take log, so of base 2, log n equal to k. So what will be the number of comparisons? Log n. In order to get the information stored in a BST in the descending order, one should traverse it in the following order. Now we want descending order. The answer is very obvious, what we have seen in the previous question also. It will be right, root, and then left. Okay, right, root, and the left. That is the post order. Then we have question 90. So the equivalent prefix expression of the following expression, again I leave it as an exercise for you, but I'll give you an exam answer. The answer is this. This is the equivalent prefix expression for this infix expression. Next is the time required to delete a node X from a doubly linked list having n nodes. What will be the time required? The answer is C, order of 1, because in doubly linked list, you know where and how to delete, just like you know the position from where to delete, because you have these addresses. previous and right. So you don't have to traverse like that. Ackermann's function is defined on the non-negative integers like this. Amn is n plus 1, am if m is equal to 0. Say for n equal to 0, m is greater than 0, m is greater than 0, n equal to greater than 0. It is first is am n equal to n plus 1, otherwise it will be equal to am minus 1 1, otherwise it will be equal to am minus 1, am of n minus 1. So this is the terminating condition of m and n. So value of a1 3 will be, what will be the answer? The answer is B. See, this is a recursive definition of Ackermann function. Every time you just have to write 1 and 3. Okay. When you write 1 and 3, you have to check for this and you have to terminate if it equal to n plus 1. And I hope you will do it by yourself. The answer will be 5. The result of evaluating the postfix expression of, this is a postfix expression of 546 plus into 493 divide plus into is. So how you are going to do it? 546, then plus will come, so we'll take this. What will be the value? 5, 10, then we'll encounter 10, so that will be 50. Then we come to 4, 9, 3, and now divide is there. So 9 divided by 3, that will be 3. So 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3, and that will be again plus. So we'll have 4 plus 3, that is what value will be there? 4 plus 3 is 7, 5, 7, and then we have 5, 7, then we have this into, so 35. But here the sequence is, this is not multiplication, this is the exponential power. So I hope that the way I have done, you will do it for these values, and using this exponentiation, the answer would be B. The answer is 350 here. This is how you evaluate the postfix function. The worst case of quick sort has order what? Quick sort. The worst case. The order is order of n square. Quick sort, order of n square. For an undirected graph G with n vertices and e edges, the sum of the degrees of each vertices is sum of degrees of each vertices for n vertices and e edges. The answer is C, that is 2e. Sum of the degrees of each vertex is 2e. Okay. The time required to delete a node, X from a doubly linked list having n nodes is, we have seen this already, order of 1. So these are a few more questions on data structures, and algorithm will be taking more of them. Thank you so much.